just messed with the settings on this phone. I didn't even know you could do 4K, 60 frames per second. That's crazy. Wanted to talk right now about curiosity and how I feel like we could lose it if we don't use it. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I remember when I was a kid and I was curious on everything. I was always just curious about random things. Things now that I feel like I would question stuff when I was a kid so much. And at the time, when people would you would kind of just have blind faith in whoever was giving you the answer. But now I kind of feel like I know better in terms of certain things. Like when I was a kid, I remember when my parents would spray Lysol, I would always wonder, I'm like, why are we spraying Lysol, I would be like, oh, isn't this like chemicals in the air that we're just breathing in? And I'd ask my parents, I'm like, why are we spraying Lysol into the air? Aren't we just going to end up breathing this in? They'd be like, no, it's going to kill the germs. It's going to kill bacteria, yada, yada. They would spray it when we're sick or whatever. And it probably would do that. I'm not saying it doesn't do that, but probably the adverse effects of spraying Lysol, you're breathing in just fragrance chemicals into your lungs. Yeah, it's going to kill bacteria, but what is it doing to you personally? Whoa, Jesus Christmas. What a catch. And it was stuff like that, little questions that I would have in my head, and I would have blind faith in them when they would correct me that everything's okay. And I feel like that's just a short story of kind of what happens when you lose your curiosity and just kind of have blind faith. And I mean, if you want to look at the political climate of the world, the people that still really believe what the government tells them, you always know those people who, oh, the news will tell you this, it's on the news, why would they lie to us? And it's like, you lost your curiosity, man. If you were curious, you were asking the right questions, you would find out the answer for yourself instead of having the blind faith in the authority figure. And I feel like as a nation, we've lost, not everyone, but a lot of people have lost their curiosity and have just kind of fallen in line into whatever storyline the media wants to push out on us. If you ask questions, they have an answer, a cookie cutter answer that's fed to them and they believe it. And I feel like for a while I was going down that path too. I kind of lost my curiosity. As you get older, certain things become less important, more important, and you kind of lose a balance at different ages in your life. But as I've gotten a little older now, I've kind of recentered myself and regained my curiosity. And now, I've started asking questions again, doing my own research. And then once you start learning, you realize everything you kind of had faith in is bullshit. Used to think your food was healthy. Now everyone's starting to realize, oh, our food's sprayed with chemicals, yada, yada, pesticides. And you kind of just do a 180 once you start being curious again. You start asking questions. Oh, why do I want to work a dead-end job for the rest of my life till when I'm 60 and then retire and maybe have enough money to get a little bit of years of living, but by then you're already too old to really do anything. And that's just how it is right now. I feel like just being curious, asking questions, that's what we need right now. We need to kind of question this system that we're in, question the government, question why do we need to do this? Oh, because the government says it's good for us? Well, the government works for us, supposedly, even though they act in their own best interest most of the time and not the interest of the people, which is interesting. But I feel like as a nation, we need to be curious again. We need to start asking questions to the government, asking questions about the world. Why is this the way it is? Do we need AI data centers in every freaking block of the world? Do we need even AI? Can we just go back to simple living? I don't know anyone who in a heartbeat wouldn't go back to a simple living lifestyle compared to now. If you gave me the option to go back, or maybe just transport to a time where technology is nowhere near as implemented into our society, just give me a place where I could just go to. There's way less technology. Don't have to worry about everything being online, your phone being connected to everything. You could just go to a place where it was more community driven, small communities working together. You got farmers, you got handymen, that's all you really need at the end of the day. You need food and shelter. That's really all we need to survive. We don't need AI data centers, all this war going on, all the mass production, industrialization of food. I don't need a goddamn computer screen in my car anymore. Like, I'm sick of this. I don't want this stuff. All these things that I was never asking questions about, you just take it as face value. Oh, they're putting AI in car now. Oh, there's computers in cars. There's all these sensors in cars. Once you start asking these questions, what is the point of all this? Is this the path we want to go down, or is this the path we're being forced to go down because nobody's curious anymore? I don't know, man. I feel like now you're starting to see a change. A lot of people are starting to really ask questions. If you go on social media, for as much bad as it is, there is a lot of good too, because you almost get a wake-up call sometimes from people online asking questions, and then kind of ignites like that fire for you to start asking your own questions and doing your own research, which is great. And I hope, down the line, things are going to change in this nation, in this world. I hope we go back to just more simple living, That's what I'm curious on. I'm curious on just living simply. I prefer that over all this technology, all this AI, it's just this weird matrix we're going down where we've completely lost the plot of just being humans, hunter-gatherers, small communities, and just living, If you give me the option, I'm taking farming, living in a small community where everyone just kind of raises our own food, cattle. We don't, and not work 40 hours a week at some dead-end job. Like, I don't understand it. I don't want to do it. I'd rather just live more, just be a human rather than this just corporate goon who's just out here for charts and all that. I'm sick of this, man. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like we got to go back to the simple living. Be curious. Start asking questions. Why are we doing this? Do we want to do this? We get into the rat race so much, it's almost like your brain turns off and you stop asking these questions. I think it's better if we start asking, what do we want to do as people? Stop participating in this system and make our own system at this point. I don't know, man. I think we gotta be a bit more curious about where we're headed. Good luck, everyone.